Hello everyone, welcome to Sweetie Speaks official YouTube channel. I am Sweetie Pinjani. This is System Verilog OOPS series where we are learning OOPS concept. Today we are going to focus on a concept called polymorphism. If you want to go by English meaning of polymorphism, poly means many, morphism means form. Polymorphism will mean many forms. In OOPS, it means your code can act differently. One code can take various forms. How? One way is that you will have the same method. A method with the same name will be there in your base class as well as all the child classes which extend from your base class. Everything will have the same method name, but the implementation will vary in each class. Or you can make your method handle of the superclass. Superclass is your base class. It can be made to refer to any of your child class method. This is also a way in which the same method, same function or same task can act differently. There are two ways in which you can have polymorphism. One is during compile time, which we call static. Another is during runtime, which we call dynamic. In System Verilog, we do this dynamic polymorphism using virtual methods. Since dynamic is most widely used in System Verilog, we are going to focus on that because in System Verilog, we have polymorphism using virtual functions during runtime. That's why we are going to focus on this since this is a series based on System Verilog. Now let us understand how dynamic polymorphism is implemented in System Verilog. As I said, it is implemented with the help of virtual methods. Same name of the method should be there in base and extended class. The method should have same number and same type of arguments. And it should have same return type. Only then you will say polymorphism because the method is same. Name is same, number and type of arguments are same, return type is same. But the implementation will be different. The code inside that method will be different, and these things will remain same. One important thing you have to note, if the method is virtual, you should not make it non-virtual in the derived class. Keep it as virtual only. This is what we recommend. Keep it virtual only. Why we are keeping it virtual? Because say there is another derived class which is derived from your derived class that can also implement the method. That's why keep it virtual. It can be implemented again and again in multi-level inheritance. We learned about multi-level inheritance wherein you have a base class, you can create a child class from that, then you can create a child class from your child class and so on. So in that case also we want to have polymorphism. Let us understand step-by-step method to implement polymorphism. First, you need to create a base class with virtual method. Then create child classes. You can create any number of child classes you want which will extend the base class. And if required, you can create other child classes which are extending your child classes. You can have any level of inheritance that you need, whatever is required for your code. After creating the child classes, you have to implement the virtual method in the extended class. And remember, this method should have same name, same number and types of arguments, and same return type. Only then it will be called polymorphism. And then you need to call the required method by, how will you call a particular method? The same method is there in base class, same method is there in all the child classes. So what I will do, depending on the type of object handle, say for example my object handle is of base class, then the base class method will be called. Say it is of a particular child class, then that child class method will be called. Or you can also assign the base class handle to any of the child class handles so that it calls the method of a particular child class. Base class handle can be assigned to any child class. Let me show you with the help of diagram. I have a base class. The name is Sweetie base class. It has one variable which is ID. I have a virtual function. Since it does not return any value, the return type is void. The name of the function is display ID. It takes one input which is of type int. The name of input is input ID. This will be input by the user. Whatever input user is giving me, I am assigning to the class variable. ID is my class variable. And then I am displaying inside base class and the ID. This will be my base class in which I have display ID, which is a virtual function. Now I will create extended classes from this base class. I am creating an extended class 1. Again, this also has ID and it also has same function. You see, the function is name is same, display ID. The number of arguments are same, which is 1. The type of arguments are same, which is int. And the return type is same, which is void. All these conditions are satisfied, which means it is polymorphism. The name is display ID and here I am changing the implementation. In the base class, I was assigning the input ID as it is to my class variable. Here I am incrementing the input ID by 1 and assigning it to my class variable and then displaying it. Then I have extended class 2. Again, I am implementing polymorphism. How? I have the function with same name. It has same number of arguments, which is one argument, same type, which is int, and the same return type of the function, which is void. I am changing the implementation. Here I am incrementing the input ID by 2 and then displaying it. Finally, I have extended class 3, which has ID as a variable. And again, I am implementing polymorphism for the method which is display ID. In this case, I am incrementing the input ID by 3 and then displaying the value. This is how you can implement polymorphism. The same function name can take different forms. One way is depending on the class handle. If I call base class handle, it will utilize this code. If I call this class 1 handle, it will utilize this code, and class 2 handle this, class 3 this. Other way is I'll have the base class handle to be assigned to any of extended class. I can assign base class handle to this extended class 1, and then when I call the base class method, it will implement this. Why? Because I have assigned the base class handle to class 1. We will see this with the help of coding example. I am going to show the complete code, run and execute it. This diagram I have created for your easy understanding. To summarize what we learnt about polymorphism, in System Verilog particularly, polymorphism is implemented in a way in which same method can take different forms. This method can be a task or the function depending on your requirement. In System Verilog particularly, we have dynamic polymorphism, which is implemented using virtual methods. The method should have, this is important if you want to implement polymorphism, the method should have same name, It should have same number and type of arguments, and it should have same return type. All these three are mandatory criteria for polymorphism in system Verilog. What are the steps to implement polymorphism? First, you have to create a base class with a virtual method. Then you can create the child classes extending this base class, and you need to implement the method which was inside the base class. You need to implement that method in your child classes, and then you can call the required method depending on the type of object handle. If it is a base class object handle, it will call base class method, or if it is a child class handle, it will call the respective child class method. Or you can assign the respective child class handle to the base class, and then when you use the base class handle, it will call the child class to which you have assigned the base handle. Now that we have understood the theory properly, also we have understood with the help of flow diagram, let us do one thing. We will create a complete code of polymorphism. We'll understand each and every line of the code. We'll execute the code. Then we'll edit the code a little. After editing also, we will run couple of edits we will do and run again and again till we understand this polymorphism clearly. Coding is very important. Let's move to coding. Here is the code of polymorphism. I have taken the same example which I explained you in the theory part with the help of diagram. You have a base class, it's named Sweetie base class, which has one variable called ID. It has one method which is virtual, and the name of the method is display ID. The return type is void. This method takes one input which is of type int. The name of the input is input ID. Whatever input ID you are getting, you are assigning it directly to your class variable and then displaying it. Next, you have an extended class 1, Sweetie extended class 1, which is extending your base class. Again, you have one class variable which is ID. You have the virtual function display ID. The name is same. The number of arguments which is 1, the type of argument is int, and the return type is void. All conditions for polymorphism are satisfied. Here the implementation is different. In the base class, I have assigned the input ID as it is to my class variable. Here I am incrementing the input ID by 1 and assigning it to my class variable and then displaying it. Whatever display you get, that will be the value incremented by 1. Then I have Sweetie extended class 2, which is extending Sweetie base class. Again, it has one variable which is ID. It is implementing polymorphism because all three conditions are again satisfied. Which were the three conditions? The name should be same, number and type of arguments should be same, the return type should be same. Implementation is changing here. In the extended class 2, I am incrementing the input ID by 2 and then assigning to my class variable, displaying the value. In extended class 3, I will increment the input ID by 3 and display the value. This is how polymorphism is implemented. Same method but different implementation. Now let us see how we are going to call these methods. I have a test Sweetie polymorphism module in which inside the initial block I am having one int which is input ID, I am assigning it to 5. Then I am creating class handles of my base class, extended class 1, extended class 2, extended class 3. I am calling the constructor so that the object is created for base class and the respective extended classes. Then I am using the handle of base class first to call display ID. Then I am using the extended class handles to call display ID. When I execute this code, what should happen? First, my base class method should be displayed. Why? Because I am using base class handle. Then the respective extended class method should get implemented and I should get respective displays. I have run this code. Let's see the output. First, the base class. You can see this is the print inside the base class, inside Sweetie base class, and then I am printing the ID. If you remember, I have passed the input ID whose value was 5. Then I was calling display ID of extended class 1. What was the implementation in extended class 1? I had incremented the input ID by 1. Here, if you see, you are getting the value which is incremented by 1. 5 plus 1 is 6. Then you were calling the display method of extended class 2. What is the implementation inside extended class 2? You are incrementing the input ID by 2. 5 plus 2 is 7. This is what you are getting in display. Finally, I am calling the display ID of extended class 3. The implementation was I am incrementing the input ID by 3. 5 plus 3 is 8, which I am getting in the display. This was one way based on the class handle. Another way was I can assign my base class handle to any of the extended class. Let me edit the code and show you. First, I will assign the base class handle to my extended class 1. And I am, just to avoid confusion, I am commenting this also. I am just keeping the base class method. Now, when I call the base class handle, what should get displayed? Should the base class display happen or the extended class? You need to understand that I am assigning the base class handle the value of extended class 1. That is why when you call this base class handle, the function using base class handle, this function of this extended class will get called. This is how it should happen. Let me run it and show you. If I run it, then it will be more clear. When you see the output, then you understand it better. Now, if you see, the display which we got is incremented by 1, which was in the extended class 1. Now, let me comment this and assign the base class handle the value of extended class 2. In this case, the display of extended class 2 will come. Implementation of extended class 2, where we had incremented the input ID by 2, which means I should get 7. Let me run it and see. Did I get 7? Yes, I got 7. Similarly, when you assign the base class handle the to extended class 3, then the extended class 3 method will get displayed. Let us run this and see again. So in the extended class 3, the implementation is I am incrementing the input ID by 3. 5 plus 3 will be 8. So my display should be inside Sweetie extended class 3 ID 8. This is what I am expecting. Let me run and see if I am getting the display. Here, if you see, you are getting the display. This is how polymorphism works in system Verilog. I hope this example is very easy to understand. I have explained each and every line of code and I have taken very simple example. If you see, I have taken a class which has only one variable and I am only playing with that variable so that it is easy for you to understand. Now, once you understand, you can practice more. You can take a complete packet which has address, data, read, write, and other signals, and try to play with the complete packet inside your child classes, and then see the what happens. This is how you need to practice further. I am only helping you get started. You need to practice. The more you practice, the more you will learn. I hope you are going to practice and this has helped you understand polymorphism in very simple and easy language. I'll come up with many more such concepts which people find it difficult to understand with the help of diagrams, with the help of simple codes. I'll make it very easy for you to understand. If you are interested to stay tuned, you are interested for in-depth knowledge, then you need to subscribe to Sweetie Speaks official YouTube channel. Bye, Sweetie Pinjani. I, Sweetie Pinjani, will see you in the upcoming tutorials. Thank you and stay.